you do have that conversation, it's going to end with them saying, yeah, I'm good, I'm mentally good, I'm solid. Like, ain't nobody tell me, and that's that backwards thinking where it's like, all right, if we don't water it, it don't grow.
I deal with depression. It's an ongoing, it's a monster. It's something I deal with every day. And sometimes it's conquered, and sometimes that monster gets the monstering.
It's time to revolt. It's time to revolt. My people, it's time to revolt. It's time to revolt. Save up your money. It's time to revolt. It's time to revolt. They know that we coming. It's time to revolt. It's time to revolt.
Hey, it's King coming to y'all. Revolution. We're gonna get back to, you know what I'm saying, cooking and giving y'all that clean water on a different aspect. Today we're gonna touch on a serious topic, much real serious and real necessary for our society today, man. We're gonna talk about mental health. You know what I'm saying? I brought back Tyson, so we gonna, you know what I'm saying? I know I respect his intelligence, and I respect his care and his demeanor, how he live his life as far as just caring for, you know what I'm saying, the people in his family and also, you know what I'm saying, society as a whole. So I asked him to come back in on this and chop it up with me about mental health. But to start on that subject, how you doing mentally, man?
I'm doing good. Sometimes it's a struggle, but you know, God is in control. Overall, God is in control.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mental health is something serious, man. Like, and I know it's a little more talked on about now, but everybody just like talks on it as in a sense of like, let's complain about it and let's say, hey, do something about it. Like, do something about mental health, but nobody really giving people clear direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, this is how you do a math problem. Not that we can solve this problem, but there are tools, there are viewpoints, there are advantages we have in dealing with mental health. And mental health doesn't have to be a negative thing. Like, my mental health is well at the moment. You know what I'm saying? And we know things happen and different turns in life and this roller coaster we call life and our existence. But mental health is just like physical health. It's not this doom and gloom subject. It's just a subject that has to be addressed. So it doesn't have to be a negative subject. It just needs to be a subject we address more. Like we all cooking on and talking about physical health. Then you got a bunch of people ready to talk to you about spiritual health. But when it comes to mental health, it's just like, hey, do better, seek help. Now let's talk about more physical and spiritual and financial health. So it doesn't have to be a bad thing.
Why do you think people would disregard that, the mental health?
I think most people have an ego. And ego is like, I'm good. And when it comes to mental, that's kind of our identity. And who wants to say my identity isn't healthy? People are already saying their body ain't healthy, you know what I'm saying? Even though they shun away from that. People fight saying, you know what I'm saying, their spiritual health needs work. But mental health is something like, this is my identity. This is who I am. This is if I'm a good person or not, or something like that. So they more protective of that. So they don't really want to have that conversation. And if you do have that conversation, it's going to end with them saying, yeah, I'm good. I'm mentally good. I'm solid. Like, ain't nobody tell me. And that's that backwards thinking where it's like, all right, if we don't water it, it don't grow.
But some of them, do you think they really know? I asked that question, and I can answer that.
Okay.
I deal with depression. It's an ongoing, it's a monster. It's something I deal with every day. And sometimes it's conquered, and sometimes that monster gets the monstering. But let me go back in my early goings. Earlier in life, this is something I had all my life. There wasn't one thing that happened and then now I got depression. No, I was born with it. So early in life, I didn't know that I had depression. You know what I'm saying? I just know I woke up feeling like shit every day. You know what I'm saying? I woke up frustrated. I woke up tired, drowsy, brain fog, angry, and just, I couldn't get over it. And I always thought that everybody, you know what I'm saying? I thought that was everybody. but just everybody around me has a better way of dealing with it, or not dealing with it, but masking it.
Bingo. Yep.
I'm thinking like everybody just as frustrated as I am, but I don't have the ability to mask it like as well as everybody else. And then I seen somebody at one of my jobs. I know he had he couldn't mask it either. You know what I'm saying? This is back in like 2001. He couldn't mask it either. But then not telling me what happened, but I seen a change in him. You know what I'm saying? So it was another guy on the job used to make fun of him, talk, oh, he take happy pills now. And I'm like, dang, and he's like really connected with people and laughing and doing this. And I'm like, oh, so there is help. You know what I'm saying? But the main thing that we have to do is be able to identify it. It's not common to wake up every day feeling down and in the dumps or feeling like under this dark thundercloud, especially when nothing happened. If good things happen to you and you're waking up like that, then there's something wrong. Now, don't get me wrong. If somebody just passed away or something like that, I mean, obviously, you can wake up like that for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a couple months straight, but it has a reason. But for no reason at all, to keep waking up like this, there's a problem, and you got to get help.
I like that. Let me touch on something. People think mental health is kind of like muscle health, or they think that they coincide, like they're the same thing. Like for my muscle to get bigger, I got to work on it. Mm-hmm. But people think mental health just works like that. Like it just comes with it. Like, all right, man, I'm just gonna be mentally healthy. Why? Because I'm supposed to be. Like, no, that takes exercise too. But we don't have too much in our society where we're teaching mental health, how to mentally exercise, how to mentally deal with this, how to mentally grow. You know what I'm saying? With anything, it takes work. Just like physical, just like spiritual work would be as example, getting into scripture or whatever your spiritual walk is. Because I ain't pushing my follow us as far as it has to be yours. But I will tell you that it's truth. But at the same time, addressing health has become a thing physically, spiritually. Mentally, people are not addressing health.
I would back you on that as far as the biblical spiritual health. I'll back you up on that. That does help. You know, it helps.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So what we have everybody we know is dealing with something we don't know about. Everybody's kind of walk and how they take life and their background and what they've been through. People just have different burdens. Mm-hmm. This dude I'm walking past, smiling, but he could be dealing with money problems. He could be about to get kicked out of his house. This guy over here might, you know what I'm saying? This woman might have had her husband cheat on her, and now she going through it, but she's keeping a smile. This person might feel ugly inside. This person might have just went through a relationship breakup or something. This person might have just had their dreams crushed or lost somebody.
You know where that happens most at? You wouldn't even think about it. In the church, where everybody is wearing a mask. You know what I'm saying? Most people wear their mask in church. And you ask them how they doing. Fine. I'm doing good. Oh, I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? And they're going through the same things you just named.
So it's a catch-22 though, because I do believe positive talk and positive thinking is necessary. I believe self-talk is important. Like we talk a lot. What's the most important voice in my life is my voice, my inner voice, what I'm saying to myself, my optimism or pessimism towards everything.
How do you quiet those the pessimists? That devil on your shoulder. How do you quiet him and listen to him and listen to the angel?
Well, I follow Yeshua, and Yeshua didn't just ignore him. He talked to him. Get behind me, Satan. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to, I would say more positive talk. Like I believe this in a relationship. If you're having issues with your woman or your man, whatever, you should be talking more. Like for every 5 things, there's a rule of thumb I keep. For every 5 things I say, I say something positive to say something negative. Or I shouldn't be with this person. If I really got to list 10 things bad about this person to one good thing, you're being unrealistic because you wouldn't be that person. I'm not such a fool that I would occupy my time, my love, and my energy with somebody who has 10 bad things opposed to one. Now, I understand there's a balance and there's a point where we reach and we have to be like, all right, I'm a peace out. But my whole point is self-talk, man. For self-talk, whatever you feed grows, bro.
How long did it take you for you to be able to recognize that evil thought in your head? Because I'm gonna say this: when you have those negative thoughts, those are as natural as breathing. You know what I'm saying? And even me, that I done did the work, but I still gotta wake myself up to those negative thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And so how were you able to identify like the negative thoughts that like this is not natural for me to be thinking this way?
It's to find out it is natural. Like I'm attached to this flesh till I leave this planet. So every day I gotta wake up and kill Kahlil. Not in the sense of harm Kahlil,
right,
but put Kahlil at bay. And scripture talks about killing the flesh. And so what I mean by that is like I gotta stop the weakness. If I hear voices in my head weak, or I hear voices in my head pointing out, and most of the time those voices are gonna point out things that don't even exist. They point out things that could exist or might exist. And that's where our anxiousness and anxiety and hate of life of another point I was going to touch on, which is in like comparison. Like most of our depression is based on some of it, not everybody, of course, but some of it is based on people comparing. Like my life isn't as happy as them. I don't go on vacation like they go on. I don't do what the things that they do. I'm not living the life they live in. I don't have these cars or this big home or this and this, and I don't have all these things, and now I feel worse about myself. If you was the only person on the planet, you would have nobody to compare yourself to. So that's why I mean when I say somebody bring it into self, like, wait a minute, all right, what can I do better? Can I do this better? Can I do that better? That's like somebody being like, I'm not 6'4", so
and
I'm depressed.
Let's also be clear though. When we talk about the voices in the head, I mean, we think it's obvious, but we're talking about our inner thoughts. We're not talking about actually, voices, like, because that can be a mental, I forgot what the mental schizophrenia. We're not talking about that, but we're talking about those negative thoughts that creep inside your head, and you allow it to dictate the mood throughout your day.
Like, Mike Tyson said, the hardest place to be on this planet for any man is inside the locker room before your fight. And he said if they can walk to the ring, he'll always have a high regard because they're a part of the 1%. Meaning that in that locker room, and Mike Tyson said this in his prime. He said he used to think like, dang, I could have been a philosopher, or I could go back to school. And this is in his shorts, shoes on, gloves on. He's sitting there waiting to come out. And he's like, dang, I could be so much, what am I doing? And it's those voices, that self-talk of,
and
you got to go against it. Just like in life, bro, you got to go against the grain. You got to step outside of what's comfortable and be uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? You got to set goals. I think everybody should have goals and go after those goals. I think that helps. I think everybody should be socially connected in some way. And I'm not talking about social media because that's not social. I mean a real social connection, social media, a brotherhood. And you know what I'm saying? Just to be on that point, if y'all ever need somebody to talk to about anything, bro, y'all can reach to my DMs, and I mean that. I really do mean that. But call somebody, call some family, and lean on somebody. Stop comparing yourself to other people. You know what I'm saying? It's just a couple of stuff that I really want to talk on. And like whatever you feed grows, man. So keep your mind positive. No, it's not going the way I expect it to. Because sometimes expectations, regret, all these things can make us start to feel in this sunken place. Just be present in this moment. In this moment, it's a beautiful day. I'm healthy. I have family that's beautiful and healthy. I'm going to focus on the good. So what I feed grows. You know what I'm saying? Just like I was telling my homeboy, if a woman or a man come home and they beat their wife down with words all the time, but then when they do something right, they like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. But when they do something wrong, they ready to ride out about it.
Right.
What you feed grows. That person gonna feel belittled and beat down.
It's a 2-hour conversation when they do something wrong, but when they do something good, you just, hey, good job, and then you just keep going.
Feed what's good. Listen to the self-talk. If you have a negative thought come in, give it 2 positive talks. Write stuff down. Journal your accomplishment. Hey man, I did 10 push-ups today. Tomorrow I did 20. I'm starting to eat right. Oh, that. So you can look at it and see that's the you know what I'm saying? That's the reality of it. Is you're growing and you're bettering. Self-improvement and growth will overpower a lot of those negative thoughts I was talking about.
Right. And one of the things that I had to do to help myself is to actually realize that being upset and being angry, most cases, that's a choice. When people say, hey, he made me mad, he did this and maybe, I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? They gave you an opportunity to be mad, to be angry, but the choice is up to you. And I had to realize every time you wake up in the morning, and before your feet hit the floor, you got 10 reasons to be upset. You know what I'm saying? And most of us have a good filter that we can filter those things out, but some things slip through. And then by lunchtime, you got 30 reasons to be upset. You know what I'm saying? But every time you can be upset, you can be happy also. So if you can control or harness your own feelings, you can dictate how, you know what I'm saying? That goes a long way into your mental health. You know what I'm saying? If you suffer with depression, it may help, but it's not going to fix it. But if you are getting help and you're still struggling, that does help. You know what I'm saying? It could be like a ibuprofen to a migraine. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to fix the whole thing, but, you know, it'll help. And also, real quick, what you were saying about the biblical principles. You know what I'm saying? The Bible helps me also, you know, and I'll just make a quick analogy. There's one place in the scripture, and I'm going to paraphrase, where Jesus said, if a man steal your shoes, give him your coat. I live by that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's, in my mind, that's ridiculous. If somebody stole my shoes, you know, I'm going to fight the man. You know what I'm saying? First, I'm going to get my shoes back, and you know what I'm saying? But Jesus took it so far, it's like, give him your coat. And what does that do? So if I find something missing, I can't go accuse this person of doing it. My cousin, he's the only one in this house when it was missing, so he probably took it. But if I got that mind state of, I just give it to him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not to the point where I could give him my coat too, but if I think he stole my shoes, just give it to him. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking like, in my mind, he probably needed more than I do. And if he did take it, then it's God's job to replace it. So usually what happens is during the course of the day, I find my shoes. And where are they? In a spot that I forgot I put them. So mentally, I could have went all day mentally accusing him or even actually accusing him of taking my shoes, upset at him, then effed up our whole relationship, just to find out that I actually moved it. But if I gave it to him and I don't accuse him, like, hey man, you seen my shoes? No, I ain't seen them. Okay, so you really ain't seen them. Okay, so, and I find them later, we're good. I've been happy all day because, hey, if he took them, I gave it to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a dope way to look at it.
Right. You cannot come to that kind of thinking overnight. It took years for me to actually get there. But that just changed my whole, you know, that's one of the reasons that you could wake up and get mad. Because I know I left my shoes there. They ain't here. He took them. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, so.
Yeah, I can dig that, bro. I can dig that. Like, basically what I want to get from this is, you know what I'm saying? We have a epidemic of obesity in the country, and that's being addressed. And then we have, you know what I'm saying, this spiritual epidemic. End times are coming, which we'll be talking about soon. Maybe have a special guest on for that. But that's being addressed. Mental health is not being addressed. I see suicide rate going up, and we all been there. So we got to think, why did we go there? What can we do to strengthen ourselves mentally? How can we build that resilience? So we got positive self-talk. We got a life where you You spending time with self. You know what I'm saying? You are getting to know self, getting to know the real you, not the mask you, not the facade you, but spend some time with yourself. But you're not on your phone, you're not watching TV, you really outside with self.
And you have to be isolated too.
Definitely, man.
You can't just be around people because that's a permanent distraction. You have to make time for yourself.
Definitely. Get out in the sun. Sunlight is important. Get out in the sun, start grounding, get around the earth, get inside nature. Get your nutrition right. A lot of what we think is dependent on how we food and the food that's feeding our body and the chemical imbalance in our head.
And also have real conversations with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Ask yourself the tough questions. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts, man.
And I found out that it's way easier said than done. And it could be a very scary path to take. But once you take it, and once you be real with yourself, ask yourself the real questions and give yourself real answers, that's when the change start to come.
I can dig that, bro. So we understanding that depression is more based, foothold is in past. Anxiety is more based on the future. So I think more people should live present. Be in the moment, man. Be in the moment. Wherever you at in life, stay in the moment, man. Stay in the moment. Not what could happen or what's coming, not what did happen and regrets, but really living in the moment, man. This has been a dope subject, and we definitely gonna talk about this subject more often in the future, man. I really see us being an unhealthy society as far as mental health. And I see people aren't touching base with beliefs become self-fulfilling. Like really how you think is how you are. Therefore I think, therefore I am. You know what I'm saying? So mind how you think, what's going on in your head, self-conversations, and don't believe the trash. Don't believe the garbage. Stay positive, stay focused on positive, and connect with different people, man.
And also, I would also add on to make small goals for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to change the world. You're not going to change yourself in one day. But if you change one thing about yourself, and then Tuesday you change something else, and then Wednesday you change something else, by the end of the week, you will notice those differences.
Yep. That take me to my closing, which is going to be, yesterday I was clever. I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I'm changing myself. It been Kahlil, God's Warrior, Smoot with Tyson. Hey man, y'all stay mentally healthy, man. Get right in the head. Take your time with yourself. Be good to yourself. Be patient with yourself and really learn to love yourself. Instead of just saying that, really learn to love yourself. All right, man. Bless. One.
It's time to revolt. It's time to revolt. My people, it's time to revolt. It's time to revolt. Save up your money. It's time to revolt. It's time to revolt. They know that we coming. It's time to revolt. It's time to revolt.